Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Samp&Chance Boxing. My name is Bobby Sampson. His name is Mr. Chance Michaels. Guys, we have a cracker of a show for you. Episode 302. Yes, we have broken the 300 mark. Mr. Michaels, congratulations. Thank you for being my partner for all of this, man. Many people don't realize how easy this was for me. I said, "Hey, do you want to do a podcast with me?" Sure. Okay. Here we are, 302 episodes later, man. Who would have ever thought two dudes meeting on a couch at some random guy's house? Here we are.
It's been pretty amazing, man. 302 episodes in the bag, and some people do know, but some people don't know all the behind the scenes work, the studying, you got to do all the editing and then messaging people, setting up interviews. There's a lot that goes with it. So
And
yeah, it's
living our
been a lot of
lives.
fun though.
And
Huh?
living our lives.
And living our lives, still working regular jobs. We got kids, we got parents that are getting older, so it's a lot, but it's fun. Enjoy it. And you got to watch
Well,
wrestling and boxing. And now we have excuse to watch wrestling and boxing. We got to do it for the show. You know what I mean?
yeah, hey man, like John Cena's hustle, loyalty, respect, hard
Hmm.
work, patience, and faith.
Yeah.
Right? That's just where it's at here. All right, brother man, let's talk about hard work, patience, and pace. If anyone saw Johnny Fisher versus Allen the first time around, and they had questions about the decision or they had questions about the outcome. Well, you know what? I think all of that was washed away this Saturday in their rematch. What a knockout fifth round
Holy
finish.
cow.
Dave Allen just finished Johnny Fisher. And I'll be honest, man, these guys are tight. They're really close guys. These are the
Hmm.
two of the nicest big men
Thank
you
you.
will
I was
ever
about to say
meet,
that. Yes.
right? And this just kind of goes back to big men. Isn't it interesting how you think about it? The bigger the man, the more gentle and nice that they are. Like, I
Mhm.
mean, you look at the little guys; they're like the little honey badgers. You know what I
Yep.
mean? It's kind of just in your face, always angry. Is it just because they're little and they want to prove something like
Hmm.
that? Where you have where you hey baby girl, where you have my favorite little one, where you have these big men bigger than life, and they're
You know
just
what it is?
so.
It's a famous saying that Ronald Reagan used to say, peace through strength. These guys are so big and so bad and so tough, but they're so humble at the same time. They could rip your face off at any second. They don't want to. It's the little guys. Little man syndrome is a real thing where they get so, aggressive and stuff. You see it with Tiafimo and all these kind of
Oh,
guys,
bro, you know what? We can go back to the prehistoric times. You look at the biggest, meanest looking dinosaurs, the brontosauruses, all
Hmm.
those guys. They just lumbered around. They didn't bother nobody. You look at elephants, the biggest animal, blue whales.
Hmm.
Most you can go up to a blue whale, which is 100 feet long, and pet
Yep.
it, and it'll purr.
Hmm.
Right? Then you look at sharks, kill you.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So I mean, it's just insane. But these two guys, and after that knockout, I looked at Dave Allen, and I think he was in shock because he did that to his friend.
Yeah, I think people were describing this fight as a barroom brawl kind of thing. Just two big guys, one's a former rugby player, they're buddies, they're nice guys, just went there and brawled. Actually, before Fisher got knocked out, his corner threw in the towel as
Well,
he was
that's the
falling
thing.
down, right?
As
Like,
he was
wow.
falling down, the towel went down. Talk about a Rocky cinematic moment.
And Allen said he doesn't want a trilogy, even though it's 1-1, because he thought he's won both fights. This fight he won decisively. He said there's no need for a trilogy. Maybe not because of the way he knocked him out. I don't think we'll see a third fight, but if the money's right, we might. And that made a name. Al's
Hey,
got a name for himself now.
money is right. Money talks. I mean, it is what it is. But I think also because of the friendship and just the way he went down and landed, and the bigger you are too, the harder you're gonna fall. I don't
Oh
care who
yeah,
you
dude. That's like
are,
a ton
right?
of bricks coming down, man.
Right. So I mean, and you're not controlling that. That's just
What a fight though. It's just two.
aesthetically, it looked amazing. Technically, I wouldn't call it a great fight, to be honest.
No, it's
I
just
mean,
two big tough guys just brawling. These guys will never be world title holders. I know he's got the WBA Intercontinental or whatever they call that belt, secondary belt, but they're never going to be title holders. They're never going to be guys like Usyk and Fury. But just fun to watch two big guys just throwing, smashing, and a hell of an entertaining fight. And because of that, they'll get another good fight again on another card. Last time we seen them fight, I think it was on Fury Usyk too, on undercard. So they're making a name for themselves, man. They had a
well, I
hell of a good
mean,
fight.
if anyone's going to move on from this, it should be Dave Allen, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know. how much further he can go or what they're going to do with him, but he could be a threat if this will
I
open
don't think a
doors for him.
Derek Chisora kind of guy. It's a
Well,
mean
maybe,
brawler
but I
if
mean,
he
he's
doesn't
still
fight.
young, right? He's still
He's
young
only
enough,
26. Yeah.
right? So he's young. He's still young. He still
Yeah.
has a lot of time in front of him.
Yeah.
This could propel him. Trainers could look and go, "Oh shit, look at this guy."
Yeah.
I mean, he could be potentially someone we're looking at down the road here, right?
hmm
Heavyweights, this is the one thing, and maybe you can talk to us a bit about this because you're more of the body guy. Why is it the little guys seem to have their careers end quicker than the big men? Big men can go fighting until their 40s and 50s and still look good. Where the little guy, once he hit that 35 mark, and I'm talking about like in UFC and in
Yeah.
boxing, right? The older, once he hit that 33, 34 mark, as I don't know, anyone who's 155 and lower.
hmm It's because they rely on their speed and reflexes so much. Once you hit
Yeah.
about 35, your reflex, no matter how good about your reflexes slow down, your timing slows down. So
Okay.
the bigger guys that don't need as much, they don't use as much, they kind of just walk. They don't bounce around as much. It's easier for them to stand there and just bang. That's why. They lose
Right.
their reflexes, lose their speed because father time it catches everybody, right? Some
No,
guys age better than others, but that's why.
100%. All right, brother man. You know what? But that was a sick match. I really
Oh
liked
yeah,
it.
really
You
fun.
picked the winner, but you didn't pick the outcome, unfortunately, right?
That's right. Yeah.
That's a hard one, man. You guys have
That's the
really,
thing. That's what I
really.
mean. It's like we, most guys on the show are getting 8 out of 11, 9 out of 11. So it's most guys get it right. The question is it going to be a UD, SD, or a knockout? That's where it gets hard, right? And that's where you separate the sheep from the goat. As long as you don't get relegated, right? There's one guy that's quite a ways down. But this goes to September, so even the guy in last can end up being the first place guy because one week you get like 150 points. The next thing you know, you're at the front, you're the back. So it's going to
No,
go right down
this
the
is
line.
like a boxing pool.
Pretty much, that's the boxing pool that we're doing live.
That's amazing, man.
Oh, Jams and Neutral, they got Red Corner Boxing, and
Yeah,
these guys are hardcore. They're on every fight,
they,
live
they,
streaming. But we up at
they.
4 in the morning to do this crap,
I
like it's
believe it,
crazy.
dude. Trust me. I was, I think it was a few weeks ago, and I was watching the card. Um, that was happening in California, and these guys were commentating on it. I'm like,
Mhm.
dude, what are you guys doing? It's like bloody 3 o'clock in the morning.
One of the animals,
And they're like, oh, this is what we do. This is what we do. I'm like, all right, bro. So, like I even said to them, I'll be honest, man. I don't know if you do get the opportunity, turn off the commentators and actually listen to these guys calling the fight. It's actually much more entertaining.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna say that. I'll leave that there.
Yeah, they're good guys too. They're good guys. They always
No, they are.
support every show that's on there, and they
They
put
are.
this together. Say, we're going to bring all you guys together. It's going to be competitive.
Yeah.
We're going to see who the best of the best is. And if you lose, you get relegated down. It's like Champions League, you get relegated out. And the next season will start in September. And then the guys that make it to the next round, we go on. The guy who gets relegated gets shamed. He's down at the bottom. It's fun. So,
There you go. But when you get relegated, do they have a different league then or something?
yeah, they're going to bump you down to the League Two.
Okay, so how does that work? Is that a different show or?
So, yeah, they have two leagues right now, League One, League Two. So if you in September, if for example, say I come in last, I'll be kicked out of League One and I'll be in League Two with other bottom feeders.
Well,
So
that's a
it's a
good
bit
way
of
to
a
work back.
shame.
So how's the relegation work? Bottom three or just the bottom one?
We're gonna get the bottom one out of there.
And then the top one from League Two comes up again.
Top one comes up, bottom one goes down,
I
and we
would do
carry on. And
bottom
bragging right.
three. I would do like Premiership. If they're doing it like that, then the bottom three should go down and the top three should come up.
Mm,
That would make it more interesting,
yeah, would be cool. That's fun.
right? And then the guys that are coming up, they have to go in through a playoff. So like the first two guys
Mm,
go up automatically, but the third place one has to play a playoff round against the fourth place guy to
mhm.
determine who's going up in third.
And what's cool about this is like it's almost like a World Cup feel, right? You got two guys from Canada, you got a dude from Australia, you got a couple guys from England, we got a guy from the Netherlands, we got a guy in Sweden,
Sweden, yeah.
we got a guy in the States. So we got like the world of YouTuber boxing podcast. What do you want to call us
Well,
doing
look,
it? So
man, here's what I need you to do, if nothing
fun.
else, just make sure you are number one in Canada.
Yeah, Brett the boxing man. Yeah, yeah. You got even one Canada, and it can't get relegated. That won't happen, but yeah.
No, 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 for sure. All right, let's talk about upcoming fights that we have here. The vacant WBO Global Welterweight Champion, the returning and moving up in weight, Josh Taylor. Who to think that just 5 years ago, this man was undisputed at 140?
He hasn't won a fight in 4 years
He
since
has
2021.
not coming off that. Who did he lose? His last fight was in 2022, wasn't it?
Yeah, he lost to Ramirez. I think it
Yeah,
was Ramirez.
yeah. So, well, your thoughts on it, man? I mean, okay, first off, he's fighting. I apologize, Iwo Usman,
Iku Usman.
Iku Osman,
Yeah.
Josh Taylor, Iku Usman.
Well,
They-
they call Usman the engine. He's got a
Yeah,
crazy gas tank. He's sort of like a Cody Crowley, a less skilled Cody Crowley. He
yeah,
keeps coming forward. He doesn't stop. He's relentless, but he doesn't have a lot of knockout power. He only has a 38% KO rate. So
yeah.
Taylor's not going to be worried about his power. I'm worried if Taylor can keep the pace up that the engine's going to bring, Usman's going to bring. I don't know. I think Taylor will win a decision. Taylor's got great counter punching ability, but he hasn't won a fight in 4 years. The engine is hungry. I wouldn't be surprised if the engine can edge this out. It's going to be a good fight. I hope they both bring it. Usman's an exciting fighter, so we're going to see. But 4 years, you haven't won a fight. Taylor's hungry for this fight, right?
Yeah,
That
no,
makes the fight
100%.
good. And then Usman wants to win this fight because he wants to make a name for himself. Like, you're an old man now. I got you.
Well, I mean, Usman's defended this belt 4 times now,
Mm-hmm.
right?
He's
His
only got
last
one
defense,
loss.
he's only got the one loss, right? His last defense was in November. Josh Taylor moving up in weight, coming off a defeat,
And hasn't won in four
and
years.
hasn't won in 4 years, hasn't fought since 2022. This might be a little lofty for Josh, man. I'm sorry to say. I mean, maybe experience comes through. Maybe, you know, maybe the move up will be better for him. I don't know, right? But I mean, I really don't know what to expect from Josh Taylor here.
It's just a
Um,
tough fight to call.
it's a tough fight to call, but what I also have a problem, it's not a problem. It's kind of funny. It, it's kind of like, if I'm thinking about a wrestling kind of scope, if you become world champion in wrestling, do you go after the intercontinental title after
No,
that? This
shouldn't.
is what this feels like to me. You were
Mhm.
undisputed, man.
I know.
Now you're going for a regional title. So what does that say?
I think he just wants to have a fight that him and his team figure that he can easily win in a decision, get his name back, have a good performance, catapult him back into the upper echelon. Easier said than done because this guy's got a crazy gas tank. So it's not. I think Taylor gets the split decision, but I wouldn't be surprised if Usman can edge this out because, like you said, Taylor's inactivity hasn't won in 4 years. We don't know what we're going to expect from him. That makes a fun fight. We don't know what's going to happen here.
No,
It's
and you're
50-50.
totally 100%. But I'm gonna go the other way. I'm gonna go to Usman just for the fact that this guy's fought. He's already defended his belt 4 times. Like you
Mm-hmm.
said, he's got the gas tank. We're looking at a
Yeah.
Josh Taylor who hasn't fought in 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
basically, who's gone up in weight now. So how much faster can he be? Will he be faster? Will that lack of speed translate into more power? I think if he catches him and he slows him down that way, then he can grind the fight down and make it
Mm-hmm.
slow. But if he doesn't, I think this is Usman to control and dictate. Honestly, I think Usman wins by decision.
It could be, man. It's going to be a fun fight because we don't really know what to expect. It's a
Yeah, I
free
don't.
fight on his own, so you
It's
can't go
not.
wrong.
It's not going to be a knockout on any regard, in my opinion.
No,
But
I
I
don't think
do
so.
believe that the gas tank. I think the speed. If he can't slow him down, then it's Usman all week long. For
Yeah,
me, right? Taylor has to slow him down. The only thing he can hope for is by gaining that weight, by moving up, he gains more power.
yeah.
And he clips him, hits him with something that he's never felt before, and slows him down. And that's the only way. He's got to get inside, in my opinion. He's got to, really get in close and tight and snug and
Hmm.
really wear him down and burn him out that way. I don't think he can
Yeah.
go pound for pound. I don't think he can go mile for mile with him, you know.
Vegas has Taylor as a slight favorite 2-1, so $200 pays you 100. If you think Usman's going to win $100, they'll pay you 225.
I
So
think
it's not much difference.
the bet makers are giving Taylor this only for the fact of his pedigree and his
Yes,
background.
that's why.
And honestly, you think about it, when Josh Taylor became undisputed, and this is no knock, I've loved everything that we've been able to see. When Josh Taylor became undisputed, it was still something very, very special because it
Hmm.
hadn't been done in decades up until that point, right?
Yeah.
Whereas after Turkey and Riyadh season took over the scene, we've had so many undisputed fights. I
Hmm.
mean, in fact, we get another one in September. We get another one, in July. Whereas before they might have been one every 2, 3 years.
Speaking of fun fights, a segue a little bit here. I don't know if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
saw this.
yeah.
This is more of a headline. It's
Sure.
entertaining as hell. Did you see the Jake Paul Chavez Junior press conference?
Yeah.
Fun, man. The guy is just so entertaining.
He's entertaining, and I'm glad you segued into that as well because here's a question that I want to bring up. Because guys, we have a slow
And
week.
Jake Paul's a great promoter, man. He's a great
No,
promoter.
no, no, no. He's
He's the
doing,
king of female boxing, actually. Jake
dude.
Paul, you never would have guessed.
He's doing something very, very special, and he's going into a market that no one else is really taking care of, right? I
Smart.
mean, you want to be somewhere where no one's taking it. Grant,
hmm
he's taking all the girls under his wing,
Smart. And dude,
right? And
Serrano, all of them say he's a great
they're
guy. He
all
pays
there.
us well. You know,
The only one that seems to be losing out is Krista Shields, and she's the best of them all.
he should come over with Jake Paul's MVP
But
promotions.
but they have such animosity towards each other, or at least she
I know.
does. At least she does. I can't say that for Jake,
Yeah.
but you know she needs to put her pride away, man. I mean, you're not going to get better opportunity than this. I don't. And you're the goat. You are the goat. I will call her
Yeah.
that. She's better
Yeah.
than all of them. She's
How
better.
pissed off is Chavez Senior going to be if his son loses to what we call a YouTube boxer? You
Okay,
know?
so this is a brilliant segue that I wanted to bring because I was thinking about this. Okay,
Mhm.
um, Connor Ben, Chris Eubank Jr., Chavez Jr., and this July, Manny Pacquiao's son will be making his professional debut on the undercard of his card against Mario Barrios.
How cool is that?
That's really, really cool. But here's my question to you. Boxers, all the guys that we've ever talked to, all the people that we've ever interviewed, let her come in. Come on in. Come in, baby girl.
Why aren't you coming in?
If you're coming in, come on in, kiddo.
Come on. Okay, go see grandma.
All right, there we
Yeah.
go. Oh,
How
sorry.
cool is that for Pacquiao's kid to go
Okay,
fight on the card
right,
for his dad?
but here's my point. We've talked to boxers, aka Ryan Carl, aka
Mm,
David Benavides, aka Cody Crowley to an extent
yeah,
would fall into this. Okay, the Charlo brothers, Tank, Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, Devin Haney, all of them, Teofimo Lopez, all came from impoverished background.
Angel Lozano, remember his dad?
Angel Lozano, right? They
You don't
all
play with
came
that guy, man.
no, but they all came from backgrounds that fit right into the narrative of what a boxer is.
Yeah,
So kids that are born with money, kids that are born with the luxuries of life, the private schools, the cars, the nice clothes, not having to worry about food or sharing a room with nine other people in the cases of some of these guys. De La Hoya, even to that extent,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Do these young guys that have the money and Chavez Jr. has proven it to me that he has no business fighting because
His
he
dad.
doesn't.
You watch when he fights, his dad just shakes his head like, you know what I
But that's
mean?
what I'm saying. It's just like, do you think Pacquiao's son will fare well because he's basically grown up with no issues in his life whatsoever? The boy doesn't understand, will never understand what it means not to have running water or electricity like Manny did, right?
hmm
I mean, we've seen Eubank Jr. and Connor Ben fight. Yeah, they've done okay. They've been good,
But not like their dads, though.
but not like their dads, right? So what do you see from
That's a great question. Great question. It's hard to say, man. I mean, like you said, he guy's got so much money, private schools. He's got a cook. Um, the only thing is, I think he might do good because he sees how hard his dad works, and as far as training goes. And if you see your dad pushing that line in the 40s, um, you figure he'll never be as good as his dad. That's Pocky's one of the greatest ever. So that's a big shadow over his head. I think he's going to work hard. I think he'll be okay. Will he be an all-time great? Probably not. But I think he'll fare better than some of these other kids just because Pocky at 46 is still fighting for the belt. We'll see, though.
yeah. Because I mean, at this point, when you got everything, you have everything. Why do you want to fight? That's the question I have, right? Like,
I
there's
think he
no
wants to impress his dad.
right. No, I appreciate that too. But at the end of the day, you look at the four guys that I just mentioned here, right? I mean, we don't know about Pacquiao's son yet because we haven't seen him fight.
We don't know. Yeah.
This is his debut. But the other three guys that I mentioned here, right? Chavez, Ben, Eubank,
Even Mosley Jr.
even Sugar Mosley Jr., right? But I'll put him
hmm
a little differently because Shane made money, but not the money that these other guys made,
hmm
right? To be fair. So
If
I
you
mean,
heard Shane, I don't know if you've heard Shane talk in an interview, dude. He's got CT. He's so slurred with
oh
his words.
dude, no, definitely. You could definitely see it, right?
hmm
Just like it makes me wonder, like, okay, if they didn't have their dad's names, would we even know who they were? right or wrong. Like maybe they could have been
Yeah, yeah, I
boxers,
hear what
but
you're
if they,
saying.
this is just like it's almost that fight happened. Was Connor Ben Chris Eubank Jr. the fight, or was it because the two fathers who had amazing wars and now their siblings were trying to take it over? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what it was. It's hard when you have when you have a dad like Manny Pacquiao or even Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair, because we're always going to refer to them as Nick Hogan. Nick Hogan can never be any much because of his dad, or Flair, David Flair, and now we're always going to call Pacquiao's kid. He's Pacquiao's kid. It's hard to get out of that shadow. These
No,
guys are
true
larger
enough,
than
true
life.
enough, true enough. I mean, in the case of
So,
Hogan and Ric Flair, their kids could have used a different name
but even
based
like
on the
when David
industry.
Flair's
Based
coming
on
out,
the
we're always oh, it's
industry,
Flair's kid.
the only guy that I'm see doing it, and I have nothing but respect for this guy. I'm sorry, we're boxing, but I'm going to wrestling here for a second. It's Lexus King. Do you know who he is?
No.
Brian Pillman's kid.
Yeah, I guess you could say Randy Orton. There's a couple of guys that did it better than their
No, no,
dads, but
no,
not a
no, no,
lot.
no, no, no. They did it better than their dad, but he still carried the Orton name.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a guy who, in the realm of professional wrestling, where you
Yeah,
can
I know
get
who you mean.
away
I've
with
seen
it,
him.
right? I mean,
Hmm.
if Connor and Chris Eubank wanted to prove something, not saying that they wanted to, use your mother's maiden name.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? This is what he did. Like Lexi King, you don't know who he is until you find out he's Pillman's kid. He's trying to make his own road. He's trying to sow his own path without the name of Pillman,
Yeah, good for him.
right? So there we go. All right. So we got that one. Manny Pacquiao, let's just stay on him. So there was just an interview that went out I think yesterday or a couple of days before. And Pacquiao, he loves to train in the playground. I don't know what it is with him on a tennis or on a basketball court. He just likes to get in there and just has this people around him,
Yeah, he likes to put on a little show for
right?
everybody.
But dude, his hands are so fast.
Oh, he's crazy speed,
Even at
dude.
45, man, the man, I
46.
46, sorry. Mario Barrios, please be careful.
Oh yeah, like
But
uh, I don't know if you saw
Barrios doesn't fight
Pocky was in
back.
LA airport and the interview
Yeah,
asked him, there's a 16 years age difference. Pocky said,
I
don't
saw that.
worry about it.
Right, right. That was all a part of that, right?
He's
So the
not
guy
worried,
comes out of
guys.
the airport, he goes to the playground.
Mm-hmm.
Devin Haney came up and he
Mm-hmm.
said something very interesting. He goes, like he ran around for 12 rounds. He goes, well, Devin Haney needs to become more entertaining.
Absolutely.
The
Boring as
problem
hell.
the problem with a lot of these guys is they're not entertaining anymore. You got
Mm-hmm.
to keep in mind the only reason boxing is popular is because of the fans. Without the fans,
Exactly.
there are no boxers. There is no boxing. So if you don't entertain the fans, what do you expect, right?
And that's
So,
exactly why Top Rank didn't fight to keep Haney. They knew he was boring. He's not going to be paid for his star because of his style. They let him go. Smart decision. Saved a lot of money.
dude, honestly, I mean, because both those guys lost, I wouldn't have a problem with the Garcia Haney match now, man. The way how shit they both looked.
Maybe they'll have to do it.
Turkey's talking Boots versus Tio coming up.
I
Maybe.
saw that.
What do you think? That'd be a good fight.
That's gonna be fun, man. You can imagine those press conferences with Tio right now.
Oh,
All the
the
heat he's
way
got
Tio
on
is
him.
right now, honestly, man.
Every black person in America is gonna cheer against him.
Oh, I
All the
know.
Mexicans support him. You're gonna see a crazy hype for
Oh,
that fight.
it's gonna be great, but
And
it's gonna
by the way,
happen.
I didn't realize this. I know Tio shouldn't have said what he said, but I didn't realize that Terrence Crawford was calling his girlfriend and Tio's mom a bitch and stuff. Did you hear about that?
You know what? I saw something, but I didn't read
Doesn't
it. But
give Tio the
tell us
excuse to
about it.
say what he said, but it kind of puts a little more in context of why he did that.
Well, look, I mean, I said to you before, out of all the guys that we saw, in New York that night, Tio was the most normal of them all,
Yeah, I know. Isn't
right?
that
And I
crazy?
said on the show as well, I'm really proud of Teofimo because it looks like he turned the page, and
Until
and
that.
he's until that very moment. As soon as I said it, that clip comes out, right?
But you know the problem with a guy like Tio is he is getting more mature, but he's such a short fuse that you can get under his head and rattle him, and he goes
But
crazy.
but
Same
but
with
this
Garcia;
is
they can't control themselves
but
sometimes.
but this is what we were talking about.
But the nicest guy you ever meet in person. He's so humble to the fans. He's a really cool
Oh,
guy.
great, dude! Like you said, you and I firsthand.
Hmm.
You met him inside. I met him outside. But like where the MGM is there, where that little smoking section is by the main
Yeah.
entrance, and then you go off to the side. I was able to walk him off to the side and have like
Hmm.
a 10-minute conversation with the guy.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Super sweet, right?
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, if someone calls, Mrs. Michaels a name or Little Michaels a name, and someone calls, Miss Sampson or Little Sampson a name, I'm sure I'll have some choice words for those people too.
This actually happened to me. But a funny story is probably about 4 years ago. We were in Hope. We're going to Lake there, and some guy with the kids and the woman. They cut me off or whatever. I didn't care, like whatever. We're just in the parking lot. It's such a big parking lot, but it's so full. And he started fingering me. He's getting all like I don't know what this guy was drunk or whatever. and he got out of the car and started uttering some words. I'm like, I easily know I could easily take the guy. Like it's not even a contest. So I got out. I was like, hey, dude, I got kids in the car. He was making a little one cry there because at times she's like one or two. He's just yelling, right? This out of his mind kind of guy, probably about my age. And he see my woman in the crowd. And he goes, "Go back to your N-word wife or whatever he says, and get out of here."
Oh wow.
So yeah, so I said, "You're lucky this parking lot." I can't remember exactly. So basically, I said, "Lucky that this parking lot's full, or I would take you down." I said, "But my dad taught me not to hurt a woman, and I telling by your belly, it looks like you're pregnant." Right.
Oh
And I just shut him down and just said, I basically, once he's seen what kind of shape I was in, he changed his mind really quick, anyways. But
no,
yeah, you get
respect,
those kind
man.
of
I
guys that
mean,
just lose their minds and start saying that word because that's all they have to say,
yeah,
right?
but you know what? I commend you, and
Well,
I
yeah, because if I hit him, I'm going to be charged as
no, it's
people
not even
everywhere with
that, dude.
cameras.
You took into account that your wife and your daughter were in the car,
Hmm.
and you didn't want them to be subjected to that.
Nah. And I'll get a charge. They'll charge me. He's the kind of guy that'll swear at you, and you hit him, and you're charged. And, because he got out and started walking towards the crowd. I better get
Oh,
out just in case.
over a parking spot, eh?
Over a parking spot. I was just
People.
circling around looking for it. He thought I
Yeah,
cut him off. They were going like 5 kilometers.
yeah. I know. People are
Some
right?
drunk
You know what?
guy.
And well, he shouldn't even be driving if he's drunk.
He's acting tough because his kid's in the car. Like he's just trying to be put on a show, right? He didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
I said, dude, if you're so tough, do something to get the hell out of here, dude. Basically.
No, fair play, fair play, fair play.
What happened?
I know this fight's not coming up till September, but there's just been so much talk on it now that we have to talk about it, man. Does Canelo stand a chance against Terence Crawford?
Absolutely. I actually think he's actually going to win the fight. I know we're saying he didn't look great against William Skull. He didn't. However, we always said about Canelo when he gets fights a big opponent, he ends up beating the guy.
No,
So
no, that's true. I agree. I agree
I
with
still
you.
think Canelo will. I still think Canelo will put on his best show.
Yeah, no, I believe that as well. And I like to believe that. We lost you, Mr. Michaels. Where happened to Mr.
Yeah.
Michaels? Okay, we got you verbally. Oh, there you go. Um,
Crawford will probably be a slight betting favorite, but I still think Canelo hits pretty hard. I don't think Crawford's ever been hit as hard as Canelo hits.
no, he hasn't, but that's the beauty of it, right? But what I'm saying is how can they say Canelo didn't look good when the other guy just kept running, man? He didn't get off his
What is
bike
he
to
supposed to
fight.
do?
Well, but this is where
Guy
I
just
think
covered up and
people,
ran.
right? He just ran and ran and ran, but everyone kept saying Canelo didn't look good. Canelo didn't look good. Well, what are you supposed to do when the guy keeps running?
Mm-hmm.
But I think in hindsight, when I think about it a little bit more, I can understand where some of these people are coming from. Canelo is heavy footed. He doesn't
He
move.
is. I
Right.
know.
And you got a guy like Terence Crawford who does move and he won't run away, I hope.
I hope not.
Right. He won't run away because most guys, they stand there and they will trade with Canelo until they take that first body shot. We saw
I
that
know he
with
hits
Skull.
hard.
Skull hit him in the third round with that body shot and then he started running.
Mm-hmm.
Carlo got hit with that body shot and then he started running.
Exactly.
Right. Munguia, credit to him. He stood there and took it.
Yep. Tough
Okay.
guy.
Right. But that's Mexican guys for you, right? You
Mm-hmm.
know, I thought Cubans would be tougher than that. Nothing against the American guy, but I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I thought just being a Cuban fighter, the pedigree and where these guys come from and how they are, you would think that okay, I can take this. So I'm still standing. It's
If
just
you
that
would
one
have asked,
body shot.
yeah, if you would have asked me 3 months ago, who do I want to win the fight? I would have said Crawford. Now I hear all the junk that he's talking to Teofimo's women. He's saying stuff about Pacquiao that's untrue. Just guys rubbing me the wrong way, and so I hope Canelo beats him.
You know what?
And I want Canelo
Crawford
to win.
was very quiet for many years. He didn't
He
say
was, and all of a sudden we got a new Crawford now.
he let his work talk for himself, which separated him from everyone else, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean,
It's going to be a great
I
fight. It can go either way.
personally, I personally look at Terence Crawford. I think he's a great fighter, but I don't see what everyone is so awestruck about him. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying
Mm-hmm.
he's pedestrian. Yeah, he's a great fighter, but I just don't see some of the accolades that he gets. You know what I mean?
This
Um,
is a big fight at AT&T at Allegiant Stadium, so they got to stack this undercard to sell this out. It should sell out. They keep tickets at a reasonable price. It should sell out, but
well, the
they haven't
way it's
released. They
looking
haven't
though, it
announced
looks like
undercard yet.
all the best fights are happening on the Pacquiao fight. I don't know if they have anyone left for September.
They're loading this thing up, dude.
Right? I mean, if this is a turkey deal, then you know what you would do. I mean, I think it's enough time. If both guys are healthy, you do Devin Haney Garcia as the undercard too.
At the Allegiant Stadium, yeah, that wouldn't be bad.
right? I mean, Teofimo Boots on that card.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a
Load
great
it up.
card, right? I mean, you want to talk about what we talked about, the black supporters getting behind Boots and
Oh
we're
yeah.
in Vegas, right? Can you imagine that? The amount of Latino people that will come out for that.
Oh yeah. Fill the place up, man.
But I'm hearing they're gonna have that fight in Riyadh.
Possible. Be a lot safer, probably.
Well, that's what I was thinking as well, like the security version of it and this and that. But yeah, let's
Yeah,
see.
no. Fury said he's out of retirement yesterday, so he's back.
He's
We all
back as
knew that was
well,
going to
but I
happen.
mean, the only one man can pay his purse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's going to fight Josh, which is good. We need to settle that.
No, that needs to be done. But I think Fury's only coming out because he strongly believes he could beat Joshua. If he didn't, he wouldn't have come back.
Yeah, exactly. And he wants to make a lot of money.
The guy can't take 3 losses in a row,
No, he can't. Oh, he'd be done.
right?
But he's so entertaining, though. People just love to watch him, what he's going to
Hey
say and
man,
do.
he's
Right?
fun.
So,
He's so much fun. He's so much
so
fun.
much fun. So I'm happy that he's back. So I'm glad you're back. Even though
So
you do this all the time to us.
yeah. So Jake Paul, we talked about him a little bit, just a little bit here, but did you hear about that exhibition he was going to have with Gervonta Davis?
He's too big for Javante.
But apparently they were going to do it at 190 pounds or something.
Can
10
Javante do that
3-minute
for that weight?
rounds. 10 3-minute
Wow.
rounds.
That'd have been
Exhibition.
fun. That'd
Exhibition.
have been fun.
Yeah. But I don't know if that's happening now. So
I just think Javante's so small. Like he's not ever been hit by, and Jake will fight at like 220. So that's such a. I mean, Javante's a way more skilled boxer, but the size and weight matter at this level.
you know what though? I think the weight cut affects Jake more because, like you said, he walks around 220, 230.
Oh yeah,
Right. So to lose that much weight, it's a lot.
that would have been fun. That would have been a cool fight.
It still might happen. It's an exhibition,
They're always up to something, man. It's always doing some fun.
right? I mean,
Good.
I think he's the bright light of American boxing. I said it here.
Mm-hmm.
Jake Paul
He's got to
and
be a good
Badu
promoter.
Jack.
He puts on good fights.
I think Badu Jack also said that if he beats Junior here,
Mm-hmm.
he's willing to give him a title shot.
Oh, that's cool.
So if that happens, this guy might become a world champion before we know it.
Possibly still young. He's what is he? 27,
He
28?
is,
Still
but
young.
Badu's. I can see where Badu's coming from. This is probably the biggest payday of his life,
Hands down. Why fear him? Why wouldn't you? Keep
right?
the money. You
Keep the
probably
belt.
beat him.
Keep the belt and fight for less money, like Dubois and Usyk. Is here Usyk now? Oh, I'll fight Tyson again. Once
yeah.
you realize how much he's actually making against Dubois,
He knows he's not going to get knocked out. Yeah, he's going to do it.
right?
That's possible. If Tyson looks good against Joshua, we could see Tyson Usyk 3 and they can sell it as well. It was pretty close fights, even though Usyk won, but he only won by 1 or 2 rounds. We can do it again. That could be
No,
easy
he can do it
sellable.
again. But that being said, Dubois being Dubois, he could be the party killer for everyone.
He hits hard. He might.
He
He got him. He
can,
knocked down Usyk last time.
yeah, he can destroy everyone.
Yeah. So
Right. So there you go. All right, brother man. I think we've covered everything that we need to talk about on this
yeah,
episode.
the Pacquiao press conference with Barrios is on today. I don't know if it's on now, but it's coming on, so I'm looking forward to seeing
It
that.
would probably come on between 12 and 1 o'clock for the Eastern audience. So we'll check that out. Honestly, man, I think it's gonna be dry. I don't know how much you're gonna get out of it. These guys
No, I
don't
don't know,
talk
man.
shit.
It's cool to see him out there. Maybe Barrios will talk some smack, call him an old man. I don't know. We'll see.
Mario is not that kind of guy.
I know. So Pacquiao is so polite. So I'm not
They're
sure what's
both
gonna
polite,
happen.
right? So
Maybe the undercard guys might spark it up. We'll see.
you know what? We'll probably get more fireworks from the undercard. I think Barrio has to be concerned though, because you don't want to lose to a 46-year-old man.
Well, Pacquiao, I watched it. 2019, Pacquiao was 40. Everybody said, "Oh, he can't. Keith Thurman's never lost. He's like 28. Come out there first round, Pacquiao knocks him down." The whole place went nuts. So you don't underestimate this guy.
No,
Ask Keith Thurman.
I am just going to be looking at his legs to see what condition his legs are in. I'm not concerned about his upper body. I'm not concerned about his hands.
Legs.
It's his legs that concern me. All right, brother man, let's wrap this up. I think the little baby girl back there needs her data. So we're going to wrap this up here, guys and gals. My name is Bobby Sampson. He is Mr. Chance Michaels.
And in the words of the great AC/DC, those that down the like, subscribe to the podcast, we salute you.
We do salute you, ladies and gentlemen. Hard work, faith, and patience. That's the key to success. I don't care what anybody says. And don't let people get into your head. Let's just leave it at that. Samp and Chance, have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you on Tuesday. Take care.